You send a text. She reads it, and then nothing. You check your phone again. Still nothing. Now your mind starts racing. Did I say something wrong? Maybe she's busy. Maybe I should send another message. So you send another one. And in that exact moment, you just lost the frame. Not because she didn't respond, but because her silence started controlling your behavior. Most men think attraction dies because of something they said. No, attraction dies the moment you start reacting instead of leading. And the brutal truth is this: women don't respond to words, they respond to frames. The man who controls the frame controls the entire dynamic. Comment below "frame" if you've ever caught yourself overthinking a woman's silence, because today we're fixing that permanently. Here's the rule nobody teaches men. The person who reacts emotionally in an interaction automatically loses power. The person who stays centered controls the frame. Women test for this constantly, not consciously, but instinctively. She might take longer to reply, she might cancel plans, she might throw a small challenge your way. And most men fail right here. They explain, they chase, they overcompensate. But the man with frame control, he does something very different. He does nothing, because he understands something most men never learn. The strongest frame is calm indifference. When a man stays grounded, he forces everyone around him to adjust to his reality, not the other way around. If that makes sense already, hit subscribe right now, because this channel is for men learning psychological discipline most guys never develop. Modern dating teaches men the exact opposite of what works. It tells you, communicate more, explain your intentions, show effort, prove your interest. But masculine power has never worked that way. The strongest men in any room speak the least, react the least, and chase the least, because they understand something ancient. Restraint is dominance. Think about it. A man who constantly explains himself is trying to gain approval. A man who calmly continues his life assumes he already has value. And women feel that difference immediately. The man who chases validation feels unstable. But the man who holds frame feels unshakable. And attraction naturally moves towards stability. So remember this: frame control isn't manipulation. It's emotional discipline. And very few men have it. Now let's break down the exact system. 4 rules, simple, but most men fail them. Rule 1, never chase energy. If she pulls back, you don't lean forward, you hold position. If she delays responding, you continue your life. You don't double text, you don't ask if everything is okay, you stay centered. Scarcity builds attraction, chasing destroys it. Rule 2, silence is a weapon. Most men panic in silence, but silence is actually frame pressure. When you stop talking, the other person starts thinking. Did I lose him? Is he pulling away? Why isn't he reacting? Now the emotional pressure shifts to her, and suddenly, she's the one leaning in. Rule 3, never explain your value. Weak men justify themselves. Strong men live their value. You don't say, "I'm a good guy." You show it by not tolerating disrespect. You show it by walking away calmly. You show it by having a life bigger than her attention. Value is demonstrated through behavior, never through explanation. Rule 4, be willing to walk away. This is the ultimate frame control. If a man is afraid to lose a woman, she controls him. But when a man is completely comfortable walking away, the dynamic flips instantly. Because now she knows something. Your attention is not guaranteed. And attention that isn't guaranteed becomes extremely valuable. If you're still watching this far, comment "control" below, because most men don't even make it this deep into understanding power dynamics. Here's what happens when you actually apply this. You stop chasing, you stop reacting, you stop explaining yourself. Suddenly, her behavior changes. She starts texting first. She starts asking where you've been. She starts investing more. Why? Because attraction works like gravity. It moves toward emotional stability. When a man becomes unshakable, women instinctively move closer. Not because you forced anything, but because your frame became stronger than hers. And people naturally follow the strongest frame in the room. Always. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most men understand this concept, but they can't execute it. Why? Because their emotions are still controlling them. They want reassurance. They want validation. They want quick results. Frame control requires something rare: patience and emotional discipline. But the men who master this skill operate in dating at a completely different level. They're calm, centered, unreactive. And that energy changes everything. Most men chase attention. Most men panic when they feel uncertainty. Most men collapse under emotional pressure. But the man who masters frame control becomes something different. He becomes stable, grounded, and extremely difficult to manipulate. And that kind of man naturally attracts respect. So, if you're building that mindset, subscribe to the channel, because every video here is designed for men who want control over their emotions, their presence, and their life. And before you go, I want to hear from you. Comment below, what situation made you realize you lost the frame? Because the moment you recognize it is the moment you start taking it back.